Hi, we're the Dream Tellers. I'm Nick.
I'm Alex.
Javier.
We come to you today with a sad message. Probably the worst thing that can happen to a musician. In terms, well, there's plenty of bad things that can happen anyway. You can skip this part. Stop. But what happened to us does not involve bodily harm. Fortunately, that would be the worst. But we did lose a lot of good gear.
Yeah, we had our studio here broken into, and we had 8 guitars, 2 basses, 2 keyboards, and how many guitar pedals got stolen?
14.
14 guitar pedals.
And one reel-to-reel machine.
Vintage tape
It's
machine.
not easy to carry out. Basically, every guitar in the space is gone. You gotta borrow guitars to play more shows.
Yeah.
Which we'll do. Because the investigation, fortunately, there is an investigation, but it's not going to be quick. So we're here today to just share what we've learned along this path of trying to trace down our gear.
Tuesday morning, then we got which was, I don't know, April 23rd, we got an email that a second break-in had happened here and that our room was robbed. And we didn't actually hear about the first break-in. So
We did not.
To us, that was news that there were any break-ins. But and then we both came down, Alex and I, because we share this space and it's mostly our stuff down here. We both came down here. That was probably at 11 something a.m. and assessed the what was gone. But all the easy to carry out things like guitars that were hanging on the wall or in cases got grabbed, and all the guitar 2 pedal boards, which had a slew of expensive pedals on them that we used to gig and record.
And it just takes time to piece something like that together.
Yeah. So it's like a pedal board like that. I've gone through a bunch of different pedals and worked on it for years and bought all different ones and tried different ones and got all the ones I wanted and had them all situated right. And so it's all the money that was spent, but it's just they're ones that I liked and I had it all set up the way I like and everything, and it's something I use.
Time and effort to customize it all.
Yeah.
I think almost every guitar had been modified. Lawler pickups, so Lawler's and all the guitars.
So some of my guitars were not the most expensive guitar, but they were like a guitar that I liked, and then I bought special pickups for it, and I put custom gold tuners on it and knobs, and made it look customized it to what I thought looked cool with, and I had several guitars like that and basses that I'd done that to. That was the money that I spent again, but it was also just the time of like I had to get it and then take it to a place and get them to pay them to put the stuff in it and find the particular knobs I wanted for it. And so it was stuff that was personal, that's like that I've had for years, that I like a lot, that I customized to be personal and be the way I wanted it. So
yeah, I think you take those things for granted that you hold in your hands, or you sing into, or whatever your instrument is, and that's what something like this makes you really think about. It's like, I bought this thing, say it's a guitar, because it spoke to me in a store if I'm lucky, or maybe I bought it online after I researched forever and I decided this is the right thing for me. But then it sort of, you play it for months, years, it grows with you, you wear into it, and you know what to expect from it, and vice versa. That it's like a odd thing. It's just a thing, but it's like a really personal one.
So the stuff of mine that got taken, I had a Epiphone Casino sunburst finish with Lawler pickups in it, and all the hardware is gold. So it's very unique. There's no other guitar that looks like it. So if it pops up somewhere, I'll know it. That's my favorite guitar that I've ever had. It's just my favorite guitar, and it's part of my sound. I like the sound of it. I think it looks cool. And so anyway, there's that. I had a black Les Paul Studio that also had Lawler pickups in it, so special pickups. Also had gold hardware, very recognizable, no pick guard. I had a Hofner bass with Lawler pickups also.
Stuck the Firebirds in there.
That also
bad boy.
had some gold hardware, and then a Fender PJ bass with a purple pick guard. So it's a white bass with a purple pick guard, very recognizable. Also, Godin Rialto Jr. acoustic electric guitar, which I got in the last year, so that I could do acoustic gigs. So that was all the electric guitars and basses that I own, literally, and the only acoustic electric guitar. So all I have left is 2 acoustic guitars. Those are the only guitars I have left. My Nord Electro 5 HP 73 keyboard got stolen, which is the main keyboard I use to gig. It was on that stand there. They're very expensive. It's kind of, and luckily this real piano's too heavy for anyone to steal.
I'd love to see them try.
But that was like the main gigging keyboard, and then a MIDI controller, what do you call it? Novation. Not a particularly expensive piece of gear, but just another element that was used with that. And then my guitar pedal board, which had like 12 pedals on it. Two of the pedals were Alex's, and we shared it, but that was the thing I compiled over years. We also had a bass pedal board that was smaller. There were those 4 pedals on that. That was we used for gigging every show. We've got both those pedal boards running, and Javier's. Luckily, his stuff was not down here, so none of it got stolen.
So on the list for me, we have my Eastman. I have a couple Eastmans. They're all gone. This one is acoustic electric, T186 MX. In that guitar, I put bare knuckles, and I had a 6-way pickup switch in it and special wiring to be able to access different pickup splits there. It was 50s wiring as well. So that was a fair bit of service work and aftermarket and just a special guitar. The tape machine was a Tascam 388, kind of a cult classic, kind of special machine. It's very thin tape, 1/4-inch tape, but they definitely have a mid-5 sound to them. It's a cool machine. It's really convenient that it has the reel-to-reel and the mixer all in one thing that looks super 80s and super cool in that way. It's brown, it's ugly as sin, but yeah, though they're not making them anymore, obviously, and who would? The other Eastman I had was the E10 SS. It was like a Gibson J45, but it was reddish, sort of sunburst and worn in color. I've played a 45 and honestly, this one sounded more open. I had a Revolta Montada. That was sort of an experiment guitar where I just wanted a 3 pickup guitar and had kind of cool pickups and switching in it, and it looked sort of like sort of Italian 60s vibe to it.
Cool looking guitar.
Fender Telecaster. This is 70s Ventera. I don't know, maybe other things for the 70s. But this is a weird guitar, kind of. It's a 12-string Korean-made, maybe in the late 90s or 2010s. The brand is Brownsville Choir Boy. Used it for
just used it at a show for the first time ever. We threw it on some Beatles songs that had 12-string.
Yeah, P90s and 12-string. What more do you want? But yeah, that was the extent of it. It feels like I could just go play any of these guitars, but then I'm like, oh wait, I don't have that.
Yeah,
that's the weird thing. It's kind of like, honestly, this might seem like a bit morbid or something, but I recently lost a cat. It's the coolest cat ever. And, it feels very similar. Like, I still walk around the corner, I'm like, did I just see my cat? It's like,
Yeah.
You don't really.
Yeah.
It's not like a clean break. His memory is so clear, just like those instruments, and
Yeah. So that's basically what happened, and in our next video, we'll tell you kind of like what we're doing next.